New update in Master Duel with new packs, new cards, and new leaks. And I'll be streaming a $1,000 tournament qualifier with the new pack. Also, I'll be streaming on Friday leaks for the 2nd July pack, which will likely be at the end of July, as I do ranked ladder with the new cards, Yubel, Centurion, and possibly more. Let's hop into it. First, let's see what's going on with the shop updates. We also have secret pack updates, legacy pack update, and another secret pack, selection pack, leaks, and all right, now that I open up all the tabs, let's start off with this. Secret packs, Souls of Sublime Gods added Yada. Okay, I don't think anyone really cares about that. Dual Avatar. Oh, we did receive some new Shino Bird cards, so that's reasonable to expect that to be in the new, in the older secret packs, that is. Okay, shop updates. New Yubel. That is the Yubel Fusion. Very nice. A new mate. We got the bobblehead. Okay, nice. Dual field. What is this? Pressure planet? Oh, it is a Kashtira field zone. Okay. Icon, Super Poly. Sure. Okay. Legacy pack update. New cards. Are any of these good? Probably not. Let's open them up and see if there's any stats on Yu-Gi-Oh! Meta. We have Immortal Bushi. No, and it's an ultra rare. Good luck with that. We have Card Scanner. There are TCG stats here. What does this do? Once per turn, you could declare a card type, monster, spell, trap. Both players reveal the bottom card of their decks, and if it was declared card type, they add it to their hand. Otherwise, place it to the bottom of the, top of the deck, that is. Oh, okay. If this card is in the owner's, so you get to see your opponent's card. If you call the card incorrectly, you get to now know what they're going to draw into. If this face-up card in its owner's spell and trap zone is destroyed by an opponent's card effect, make your opponent place one card from their hand to the bottom of the deck. So TCG stats here. Runic. Oh my gosh. So every single turn, they're going to draw a card because they're going to declare spell, and you reveal the bottom card of your deck. And let's click on Runic real quick. The field spell. Every turn's going to put 3 Runic quick play spells, up to 3, to the bottom of your deck and draw cards. So you're guaranteed after resolving the fountain knowing exactly what the bottom card of your deck is. And then I guess you're just drawing a card every single turn. Card Scanner. So with a Morganite and Card Scanner, you're drawing 3 cards every turn. That's toxic. Now, what about the other card here? We have Speed Spitting Saplings. I'm not going to read this since there's no stats. Okay, let's keep on moving on. What do we have here? Secret Pack Kashtira. Anything new? Nope, but there you go. If you want to play Kashtira yourself, we'll click on the Arise Hearts, and I'll have the Kashtira breakdown for you. There you go, just like that. In TCG, the Arise Hearts banned, yet it's still a really good deck. That is absolutely wild. And some good decks here. I'll highlight the Master 1 deck list. Wait, one's using Labyrinth? So let me zoom in a little bit more for you. So there you go, without Labyrinth. With Labyrinth, we have Butler in here with Metaverse. That's wild. We have Auroradon. Oh my gosh, a lot of these are spicy. And you could see this for the notes if you want to pause and read them real quick and then watch the replays. Very nice. Thank you, Joey. What else we have? Selection Pack Xyz Explosion. Now, a lot of you are thinking, where the heck is Raid Raptor? Why don't they just give us the new Raid Raptor cards? Why are they reprinting the Ultimate Falcon without the Raid Raptor new support? Well, it should be coming out soon. So what? I guess this is just like generic. I got Gene Raider is something I could show you, I guess, if you want to build Gene Raider. So Leviathan, we'll click on Gene Raider here. Invoke Gene Raider, regular Gene Raider. Here's some decks you could see. So this is with the Assault Mode support. This is with Horus. This is with Dinomorphia. A lot of versatility here. If you look at the overall breakdown, something like this. All right. Now, leaks. What are the leaks? Upcoming event, Xyz Cup. Now, I was originally thinking that the structure deck for Galaxy Eyes was coming out with the Xyz Cup, and this is not an Xyz festival. This is different. So what the heck's going on here? I don't know. I'm going to be reading it with you. This event uses Duelist Cup system stage 1/2, not the usual festival system. What do you mean stage 2? Is there really going to be a 72-hour event of Xyz only dueling? I guess this is them taking the festivals more seriously, alternative formats of Yu-Gi-Oh! More seriously, but beyond the standard way of playing. Maybe this could open way for a classic mode. I know I cope with that all the time. In the Xyz Cup, you can only have Xyz monster in your extra deck. Some cards will be unavailable, blah, blah, blah. Check the Xyz, Forbidden Limited, aim to emerge victorious. I mean, stage 2, What? How? Why? There's no way that there's going to be 72-hour events. 72 hours of nonstop dueling, that is. We'll see. We'll see. Centurion, Primera sleeves. Okay, it'd be nice if you took the Masto logo off them, but nice nonetheless. Xyz Cup sleeves, sure. Wallpaper, Dark Hole Dragon, that is. And wow, even the Duelist Cup icons, but for Xyz Cup. What? Why? Maybe this is the one for participating, and then, yeah, so this would be the other ones. Okay, sure. Deck case for the Xyz Cup. Man, Xyz Cup. What are the most popular Xyz monsters right now? What would be the best thing for it? The Xyz Festival. We had a filter for Xyz Festival. I just saw that. What deck types Xyz Festival? Oh, this is random. That's from a long, long time ago. So what is good? You can't really play Fire King with just the Xyz, could you? Okay, Galaxy has Photon Lord, so maybe Horse cards would be pretty good. Horse Xyz, I imagine that doing very well. Bunch of rank 8s and the Horse cards. Purely, oh my gosh, Purely is going to win the whole damn thing. Okay, sure. Now let's get on to the meat. Selection Pack Eternal Partners, where we're going to have a $1,000 tournament qualifier today. And I'm going to be dueling with the new decks that come out in this pack on Friday, plus leaking the 2nd July pack. So, what's good? Exalia. So I did, everything I leaked came. So all the leaks that I said, the Typhon, the Legacia, the Yubel with Phantom of Yubel. A lot of people were skeptical about that, but it did come through. So what I should do for you is show you some analytics on these main cards here. So we've got Yubel, Typhon, and Centurion. So starting out with Centurion, we'll click on TCG stats here. And unfortunately, it is a deck that's using a banned card. So it is banned in Master Duel and OCG, so the OCG stats may be better. But even though we should still look at the stats here, it's mostly relevant, and I think it will play exactly like this. You just remove the Archfiend King Calamity. So this deck's all about putting yourself into the back row as a trap, making yourself a quick effect during the opponent's turn if you want to, and being able to synchro into level 12s. So instead of the Archfiend King Calamity, you make Blazar Dragon instead, so be able to get negating. And then the Legacia could also destroy a card, destroy a monster and draw a card. And the Auxilia could search for the Phalanx, which could target a monster on the field and banish it until the next standby phase. Okay, and then let's see, well, let's look at a deck list real quick. So, wait, that's with Melodious? No, so let's look at this one, top 32, looking something like that. I'll make sure I'm zoomed in a bit more. Wait, this one's with Yubel? What the heck? Yubel, Centurion, Kashtira. Okay. So as you can see, Centurion could spice things up by mixing with other decks. Let's click on OCG and look at the OCG stats. Now, another replacement for the King Calamity is the Supernova Dragon. So you have the Blazar Dragon and the Supernova Dragon. So those are going to be your two things. You get to summon, banish the whole field, or pretty much negate anything. Now, the difference between OCG and what we have, as you can see, is this. See, with the OCG tag, this is OCG only. We don't have this. And let's see. Let's look at not having that card. So this is Autry, not Autry. Atry, and Deck's not using it. This is Whitewoods, so we don't want to look at that either. There you go. So looking like this, Super Poly is at 2, so maybe you want to play it at 3 and pretty much copy this deck. Skill Drain at 1, you just can't play the Terraforming, that's fine. Another using Super Poly, so it looks like that's a popular choice. So something like that looks good. Otherwise, this breakdown's generally how you're going to play it. Now, the Typhon. Is Typhon for you? Well, let's see how well it's doing in the TCG. It's the 14th most used card overall. And if we look at Zeus, where's Zeus? We're sorting by popularity here automatically. Zeus, where's Zeus? Where's Zeus? Zeus all the way down here. So it is now the #1 most popular new Xyz monster, including for OCG also, I'm sure. Oh, well, Beatrice is used with the Fiend Smith engine. That's why it's being used more than Typhon. Otherwise, any deck could use Typhon. If you have a hand trap, you can normal summon your Effect Veiler, your Ash Blossom, your Max C, and you're going to overlay this on top of your hand trap to help break your opponent's field. You can't summon for the rest of the turn after you summon this, but as soon as this is summoned, it immediately applies its continuous effect of 3,000 or more attack, cannot activate their effects. If they have a Baron to floor, they can't stop this from being able to activate its effect, detaching a material, returning their bear into floor back to their hand. And then even when it has no materials left, because let's say you're detaching your max C, right? It still has the effect of 3,000 or more cannot attack. So this should help out a little bit going second. If your deck maybe doesn't do so well going second, this is what you'd want to be playing, because your opponent just has to summon 2 or more monsters from the extra deck, and we know everyone is doing that. I would say the biggest downside to this card is, unfortunately, one of the most popular cards right now is Promethean Princess. This is not at 3,000 attack, so it doesn't stop it from activating. Typhon does stop cards in the graveyard from activating. It's anywhere the 3,000 attack monster is, it does not matter. So if you whip out the Typhon, you get Promethean Princess, it's kind of over there. Now, when Promethean Princess falls out of the meta, I think Typhon's going to skyrocket even more so than it is in the TCG and OCG metas. And here are some deck stats on people using it. Some of them are 100%, others are, half and half. Now, Yubel. Let's see the TCG stats here. Yubel, it's up. We have Yubel. Shining Sarcophagus is using some Yubel, it looked like. Okay, Yubel deck breakdown. TCG recently had the Phantom of Yubel released in their meta, June 20th. And what we are missing is the Varudris. Now, is the deck still good without Varudris? Yes. And let's look at the tier list real quick. So looking at the last month, which, okay, we can look at post Battles of Legend. Yubel top 3 deck in the TCG. Now let's click on, so this is the set where the new Yubel card came out, so that's why we want to be more accurate there. And then you click on OCG. Yubel is, in last week, is going to be the #1 deck, but if we do last month, still the #1 deck. Okay, last week, last month, best deck of, okay, I like it. Very nice. Post banlist July. Yeah, so that's why we had that set there. Very nice. So, okay. Now let's click on Yubel. Let's look at some more. So here's how it's being played in OCG. It's being played with Fiendsmith. So can we really look at the analytics here? You can if we go on down here. We're going to type in Fiendsmith, and it's going to pop up with the engraver, which we want to exclude. No Fiendsmith engraver. And now here are some deck lists. Here's a 360 player tournament. Looking good here. A lot of Xyz monsters there. That is something. You got the rank 2 Xyz that negates. And what else is good? Here is the first place. Some playing Super Poly. Some others not playing Super Poly. Horse being played in this is quite interesting. That's not something I really expect in a Yubel deck, playing Horse, but sure, why not? And even within the meta where Maxi exists, that's crazy. And what I want you to know is, what if you don't care about Yubel? Well, you're probably not listening to what I'm saying right now because you're already tuned out, but any deck could play this. You could play Nightmare Throne. So look at this. A Snake Eye deck was playing it recently, it looks like. So look at this. Look at this. Let's type in the Yubel, Phantom of Yubel. Here we go. So as you can see this deck list, it's a regular Snake Eye deck list, but it's teched in 3 Nightmare Throne, 1 Spirit of Yubel, and 1 Yubel. Why? Why are they doing that? Well, so maybe you're now interested. Nightmare Throne will activate, destroying a Spirit of Yubel from the deck, which will then activate the Spirit of Yubel to summon a Yubel onto the fields. And then what you're going to do is you either have an extra body in the field to make combos with that Yubel, but that's not that interesting. What's interesting is you then return the Spirit of Yubel in the graveyard back in the deck, return the Yubel in the field back in the deck. And by the way, it works if they're in the hand, field, or grave, returning them back in the deck. You got to return both of them here. And now you, for free, have a Phantom of Yubel, which will just negate a monster effect, just like that. When your opponent activates a monster effect, tribute this card. The effect now becomes destroy Yubel from your deck. You're going to be choosing the Yubel that gets destroyed. So you're going to destroy your Spirit of Yubel, and then you're going to summon Yubel. Now, what happens if that's within the same turn? You Nightmare Throne, they don't want to Ash, right? It's a bait. You don't want to use their Ash on this. They want to save it for the original Sinful. Now, this is for Snake Eye, but this is going to be across any deck that you apply the Nightmare Throne to. Let's say you lose to Ash Blossom, you want to play this. So the Nightmare Throne is going to pop Spirit of Yubel, summon Yubel, make a Phantom of Yubel. They Ash Blossom your more important effect like original Sinful. You tribute, you destroy Spirit of Yubel, and the point I'm getting at is it's not a hard once per turn. You're going to summon the Yubel again on the field. Spirit of Yubel could activate multiple times. As many times as you could destroy the Spirit of Yubel, it will summon the regular Yubel that many times. And if your Yubel leaves the field by card effect, let's say the Spirit of Yubel, the Nightmare Throne could recycle the Phantom of Yubels in the graveyard back into your action deck. That's not going to be that big of a deal. But if the Phantom of Yubel is dealt with by card effect, let's say it gets Raigeki'd, sure. Now, that will trigger the Nightmare Throne to summon onto the field a Spirit of Yubel or Yubel, just an extra body on the field. Not that big of a deal, but just so you know, that's the little synergy there. And a TCG deck using this, okay, interesting. I guess the big downside would be, while this helps eat an Ash Blossom, what if they max C, right? You're destroying a Yubel, summoning a Yubel, they draw 1 for max C, then they're going to draw 2 for you to make a Phantom of Yubel, and you didn't even touch the rest of your cards here. That may be the big reason why you would not want to do this. Otherwise, if you want to eat the Ash, this is going to be, I think, one of the best ways to do so. I'm thinking branded. Oh my gosh, protect your branded fusion. Nightmare Throne, summon Phantom of Yubel. That's not going to lock you out of using your branded fusion. It's, again, just max is going to be the big one. Now, I've been going on a big tangent on that for a while, but here are the other cards for the TCG on how the deck is played. You're definitely going to want a Yama. Oh, but only played at 1 and 79%. Well, the other percent is at 2 and 3. So it's 100% being used. You need a Lord of Yama, which is an ultra rare. You need a Shavara, which is an ultra rare. They're not reprinted. Now, what about Super Poly? You don't need it, but it may be really good within Master Duel because we're in a best of 1 format with no side deck, and you could just blow out your opponent by summoning this, Yubel, the Loving Defender Forever. If you can get a Yubel monster out on the field, your Super Poly can now fuse their entire field. And not only fusing their entire field, you will then inflict 500 per material used, and then you want to leave up a really beefy monster on their field, probably one with no card effect, because then you can attack into that giant monster, and at the end of the damage step after battling that monster, inflict damage equal to that monster's attack. So burn, fuse their whole field, and then do a final burn as you're going to burn their monster on the field and banish that monster. And the Loving Defender cannot be destroyed by battle or card effect, and you take no battle damage involved in this card. So it's a lot of fun. And it looks like it's about 50-50 being used in Yubel. Let's look at OCG. 11% being used, 89%. I know it may seem like I oversold this to you just now, but, you know, I'm giving you the hard analytics and what makes it really good. It's pretty much just tied to the Super Poly itself. And, of course, they have their own card that can help summon it, which, as you can see, they're not really using it in OCG. In TCG, also not used as much, so I'm going to have to search it up here. It's the Eternal Favorite. Eternal Favorite is you have to control Yubel, not a Yubel monster, then you get to fuse the field. Now, I think I've been rambling too long about Yubel, but I'm going to be playing with Yubel and playing with Centurion on Friday, as we are also going to unveil the 2nd July pack. So I'm very much excited for that. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and let me know if there's anything that I missed out on. Let me know in the comments, or anything else you'd like for me to highlight and talk about in the future videos, that is. And thank you very much. We are out.